Okay, we're about ready to shoot. Hopefully you can hear me. The exhaust fan's right here, and it's loud. And I'm sweating. I don't know if you noticed. I mean, I'm sweating more than Chad Morris in a job interview. That's a lot. So basically what we're going to do is we're just going to put one coat on, the first coat on. It'll be kind of a light. Not sure how well this is going to cover. But I plan on spraying around 25 PSI. I'm going to do hopefully a 50% overlap. I'm not going to wear my full suit, my white suit, because it's just so hot. I'll just try to be careful. You can't see it, but right here I've put, let's see, I've put a wheel down there so that I can get to this middle portion here. I mean, I'm like 6'3", 6'3", something like that. So it's not usually a problem. I just, just for fun, us tall guys, right? So anyway, let's get started. So the last thing before we paint is I'm going to do one more wipe down. I've already cleaned it with solvent, and this is just kind of a glass cleaner just to get any dust that might have fallen over it, because I cleaned it just a little bit ago. So I just want to do one more, and then we'll be ready to paint. So what I want to do real quick is, I know a lot of people have watched videos on painting and everything, but if you have, you might want to skip this next part. But I was just going to kind of explain the process, because there's a lot of people that don't know, and when you tell them, they're like, oh, I didn't know that. So whenever you go to mix your paint, this is my paint. This is the pink base coat. Of course, it's a gallon. It's pretty thick. It's not as thick as like house paint, but it's pretty thick. And so what you have to do to help spray it, to get it through the gun, because the nozzle is like super duper small, like 1.4 millimeters. So you have to reduce it with one of these, which is a urethane reducer, because I spray solvent. There's also water-based, which is completely different. But I will have to mix with that a reducer to thin it down. And so since it's a solvent, it will help thin out the paint, help spread it, help lay it down. But the key part is you have to pick the right temperature to be able to paint, because you essentially want it to hit the panel, and you want it to then evaporate off the panel over the course of maybe 10 minutes. And that's called the flash, when it flashes off. And so if you pick the wrong temperature of reducer, then you can run into problems. So today, it's a really nice day in Arkansas. It's like 75 degrees plus 20. So we're hot. I mean, it is so hot in here today. So there's like 3 different types of reducers. Okay, there's what's called a fast reducer, which is if you're painting in at 65 degrees or below. And so you have a medium reducer, which is kind of a probably 65 to 75, maybe all the way up to 80. And then you have what I'm going to be using today, which is a slow reducer, and it's for 85 degrees and above. So if you were to spray, for example, this 65 degree on a 95 degree day, what will happen is that solvent will literally start to dry as it's in the air, and when it hits the panel, it's already kind of dry, and so it doesn't really flow, and it'll almost kind of put like a dry texture. Your paint will almost feel like a powder, which is not good. So today we'll be going with the 85, which is the hot. This is the tack rag that I'll go over. I've already wiped it down twice, but it's always good to go over with the tack rag at the end just to get any dust or anything like that. These are all my mixing cups. This is my gun. It's my gun. It's a DeVilbiss FLG5, direct from England. I had to have it shipped from England, so cheerio, governor. And then of course these are disposable cups, which are great. Keeps you from having to wash out a cup, and what's nice is that they're under kind of a suction vacuum, and so the cup just gets smaller and smaller. You don't have to worry about any kind of drips coming out. And then over here at the very end, we'll have our clear coat, and this is a new kind of clear coat. I saw a bunch of stuff on it, and I thought I'll try it out. It's a high solids, meaning it's like syrup. I mean, legit. It pours like maple syrup, which is kind of a challenge to paint. I've only used it once. It was on the light blue F-150, the video before, if you want to go check that out. But it turned out really good. I ended up having to reduce it to make it thinner, and it's fine, and it worked out really good. It looks really good. It's just completely different than what I was used to. I was not used to something this thick. But the first thing we'll do is spray this adhesion promoter. This goes on all the plastic parts or any of the parts that might move and flex, like on the Bronco, that would be the fender flares, mainly the fender flares, but I'm also going to paint it or put it on the door handles because they're not metal, and the front chin spoiler that goes between the bumper and the grill, it's plastic as well. So I put that on basically anything that's plastic. Everything else that's metal, or in this case, because it's a Bronco, it's aluminum, I don't put that on. So anyway, let's get to mixing up. Right, so we're going to just stir this a little bit better. I've been stirring it quite a bit. I see that it kind of separates itself pretty quick. So you just got to keep this really well stirred. I'm telling you what, this is Pepto-Bismol. That is the color. If you're wondering what it looks like, go in your bathroom, get a can or get a bottle of Pepto-Bismol, and that's what this is. Hey, didn't smell like it. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna put 64 ounces of this in here. $48 ounces, 56 ounces, 60 ounces, 64. Let that go back there. Where's my lid? There it is. Ooh, what a mess. Okay. Not too bad. So, now we're going to add our reducer. 64 ounces, because this is a 1-to-1, which is usually the paint that I spray, which is Nason or Chroma Base, it's 2-to-1. But this is 1-to-1, meaning I'm going to put 64 ounces of this in here. Whip it. All right, start stirring that. Okay, I think we're about ready to throw it in and start spraying. Okay, so here's my setup, just in case you were wondering. I've got an 80-gallon Industrial Air Texas compressor, air compressor. It's a 2-stage, and it goes through this valve, and I've got it set for about a little over 40, because I'll lose a little bit through the lines. Of course, this is the line going here, and then coming into here is one of the key things that I've added not too long ago. This is a refrigerated air, so that air from the compressor comes in here and it comes out here and goes into the paint booth. And if you're spraying solvent-based paint, which I do, water is your enemy. And on a humid day like this, an air compressor puts a ton of water in the bottom with the humidity. It just settles there at the bottom. And so that can kind of come back in through the airline into your spray, and it can cause a lot of problems with paint. So that refrigerated air helps a lot. So this is the paint booth. I believe it's 25 by 15. And so I've got new style LED lights up top, and then just the old school fluorescent lights on the side. It's really bright in here. It's just a cross draft. So right here we've got the filters, and it's coming through here and it's coming out here. Obviously you can hear my exhaust fan. It's a explosion proof exhaust fan. I don't want to mess with any kind of spark that might make an explosion in here with all the solvent in the air. So
City lights flicker like a dying flame. Shadows dance on walls where secrets play. I walk the concrete jungles cold and gray, chasing dreams that might just fade away. The world is loud but in my mind it's silent, lost in thoughts of what could be real. Every step I take feels like a battle, fighting ghosts from deep within me. I see the truth reflected in your eyes, a story written in disguise. We're all just trying to survive, but so will fall while others rise. The night is long and hope feels thin, but I won't let this moment end in sin. I'm not afraid to face the storm, to turn the page or rewrite the norm. My heart beats on for every dream, for every soul who dares to scream. This life is ours to shape and mold. We'll find our way, we'll find our goal. Sometimes the path is unclear, the destination lost in fear, but every tear, every scar tells a story worth remembering. We'll carry on.
Okay, so we're coming out. We're gonna paint a few of the panels. I thought I would just show kind of up close one panel as I put it on. In there, it worked out really good. Everything finished really good. Out here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 doors, 4 fender flares, 5 door handles, and then this little chin spoiler. So let's get started. Okay, let's start mixing the clear coat. This is the one I was talking about earlier that was so thick. Like, watch this, just... I don't know if you can really tell, but it is just like syrup. So, if I get it reduced down pretty good though, it worked out really good, so... Well, here we go. All finished up after clear coat. It actually turned out really good. It's kind of hard to tell. It's such a light pink. It almost looks white, but it laid down good. I got two nice, actually 3 coats of clear. And then we'll go out here. I'll show you the pieces out here. It's funny how washed out it looks. It's not as white as it's looking, but let's see if I can see this pretty good. I didn't get any, there's no orange peel at all, which I'm probably gonna have to match those pieces in there a little bit with some cutting and buffing of the orange peel, because anytime a panel is flat like this, you can really lay on the clear and not have to worry about any runs. Whereas I get a little bit less likely to do that when it's a vertical panel, you know, like a fender or a quarter panel or whatever, because runs are not fun to deal with. So overall, it's just going to be able to bolt up and drive it, no problem. So I think I'm going to end the video here, and then tomorrow I'll come back down after all this is dried and we'll start assembling, and that'll be the next video. And so until then, thanks for watching, and remember, what would Jesus drive? A Ford. Probably a Bronco, pink Bronco. I could see that. See you.